Hashtag the boy walked 2 miles for water. His question made the rich man cry. Every single day, in a small, forgotten village at the edge of the mountains, a 10-year-old boy named Arjun would wake up before the sun touched the sky. While other children his age dreamed about toys and games, this little boy had only one thing on his mind: water. Clean drinking water for his sick mother, who lay on a thin mattress in their tiny mud house, coughing through the nights, growing weaker with each passing day. You see, there was no water source in their village. The nearest well belonged to a rich man named Mr. Sharma, who lived 2 miles away in a big white mansion, surrounded by green gardens and beautiful fountains. The irony was painful. A man with so much water that he used it for decoration, while families in the nearby village watched their children walk miles just to fill a small clay pot. Every morning, Arjun would pick up that old cracked pot, the same one his father had used before he passed away 3 years ago, and he would begin his journey. 2 miles through dusty roads, past thorny bushes, under the burning sun, with nothing on his feet but torn slippers that barely held together. But he never complained, not once, because at the end of that journey was water, and water meant his mother could survive another day. The guards at Mr. Sharma's mansion knew this boy well. Every day they watched him come, fill his pot from the well outside the property, and walk back without saying a word. He never asked for anything extra. He never begged. He simply took what he needed and left with dignity that seemed too heavy for his small shoulders. But today was different. Today, something changed. When Arjun reached the mansion, he saw something he had never seen before. Mr. Sharma himself was standing in the garden, watching his servants wash his 3 expensive cars with unlimited water. Pipes were running. Water was flowing everywhere, washing away into the drains like it meant nothing. Arjun stood there frozen, watching months of his walking distance flow carelessly into the ground. For a moment, he forgot why he came. He forgot about the pot in his hands. He just stood there, a small figure covered in dust, watching a world that seemed so close, yet so impossibly far from his own. Mr. Sharma noticed the boy. At first, he felt annoyed. Another villager coming to take his water, he thought. But something in the boy's eyes made him stop. It was not anger. It was not jealousy. It was just a deep, heavy sadness that did not belong on a face so young. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was something else. But Mr. Sharma walked towards the boy. His expensive shoes clicked against the stone pathway as he approached this dusty child who stood at the edge of his paradise. "What do you want, boy?" he asked, his voice neither kind nor cruel, just distant, like someone speaking to a stranger he would forget in minutes. Arjun looked up at him. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then, with a voice so soft it almost disappeared in the wind, he asked a question. Just one simple question. But that question carried the weight of his entire world. "Sir, does water know the difference between a rich man and a poor man?" Mr. Sharma blinked. He was not expecting this. He was expecting the boy to ask for money, or food, or maybe some old clothes. He was prepared with his usual response of calling the servants to give something and send the beggar away. But this question hit him somewhere he had forgotten existed. "What do you mean?" he asked, genuinely confused. Arjun pointed towards the cars being washed, then towards his small clay pot. "You use water to clean your cars, sir. I use the same water to keep my mother alive. The water does not judge. It cleans your cars the same way it gives my mother another day to breathe." So why do we judge? Why is your water for luxury and my water for survival? Did we not both come into this world the same way? Will we not both leave it the same way? Mr. Sharma felt something crack inside his chest. He had heard many things in his 60 years of life. He had closed billion-rupee deals. He had argued with powerful men. He had won and lost in the game of wealth more times than he could count. But never had a child made him feel so small with just words. He looked at the water flowing from the pipes. For the first time, he did not see water. He saw life. He saw every drop that this boy had walked miles to collect. He saw every step those tiny feet had taken on burning roads. He saw a mother waiting in a dark room, hoping her son would return before her thirst became unbearable. And then, for the first time in 20 years, Mr. Stiff Team Unbearable. Sharma felt tears forming in his eyes. He turned away quickly, not wanting his servants to see, but it was too late. The tears fell, one drop, then another. Then, more than he could control, a rich man, brought to his knees not by business rivals or market crashes, but by a 10-year-old boy with a cracked pot and an unbreakable spirit. "What is your name, Mr.?" Sharma asked, his voice now broken. "Arjun, sir. Arjun. I have spent my whole life building walls around my house, walls around my heart. I thought these walls made me safe. But today, you showed me that these walls only made me blind to the suffering, just 2 miles away from my comfort." He called his servants immediately. Within hours, everything changed. Sharma personally visited Arjun's village. He saw the sick mother, the broken houses, the children with empty eyes waiting for someone to care. And he made a decision that shocked everyone who knew him. He built a well, right in the center of the village. Free water for every family, for every. But he did not stop there. He built a small clinic for the sick, a school for the children, and he made sure no child would ever have to walk 2 miles again for something as basic as water. When people asked him why he changed so suddenly, Mr. Sharma would always tell them about that morning, about a boy who walked 2 miles not just for water, but carrying the hope of his entire family in a cracked pot. About a question so simple yet so powerful that it washed away years of ignorance from his heart. Arjun's mother recovered fully within months. She lived long enough to see her son grow up, go to school, and eventually become a doctor who returned to serve his village. And every time someone asked Arjun what inspired him, he would smile and say, "A rich man once taught me that true wealth is not what you keep, but what you give away." Sharma and Arjun remained close until the old man's last breath. At the funeral, Arjun placed a small clay pot beside the grave. The same cracked pot that had once carried water now carried flowers. Because some journeys are not about the destination. They are about the change they create along the way. Water still flows in that village today. Children still play around that well. And if you listen closely on quiet mornings, the elders will tell you the story of a boy who walked 2 miles, asked one question, and changed a rich man's heart forever.